Hi guys, today we're going to make a cookies and cream cake, and we're going to start by measuring out our butter and our sugar. I'm just whisking the butter a bit to break it up before I add the sugar. While this is mixing, I'm going to preheat my oven to 180 degrees Celsius. Now I'm adding in the sugar and I'm going to mix it together until it's light and fluffy. This recipe calls for 4 eggs. I'm going to do 2 at a time and whisk them before adding them to the batter. Now I'm going to mix that together until it's fully combined. I'm going to add the second lot of eggs and 2 teaspoons of vanilla and mix until that's combined as well. Here I'm just measuring out my flour and my baking powder. Now I'm measuring out 1 cup of whole milk. Here I'm adding in the flour in 3 parts and the milk in 2 parts, alternating between the 2. I've added some Oreos into a sandwich bag. I'm just crushing them with a rolling pin before folding them into the cake batter. I'm going to use a piece of parchment to line my cake tin. What I like to do is push the parchment down into the cake tin, push all around the edge so that it leaves a mark on the parchment, and I have a line to cut along to get a matching circle to line the cake tin. I'm using 2 6-inch cake tins and I'm dividing the batter evenly between the 2. Once the cake tins are all filled, I'm going to pop them in the oven for around 45 to 55 minutes until a toothpick comes out clean. Whilst the cakes are baking, I'm going to start on my buttercream. Here I'm just whipping up the butter. I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla. I'm measuring out my icing sugar before adding it to the butter in small parts. I'm just adding a tablespoon of milk and the last of the icing sugar. Here I'm getting the icing out of the middle of some Oreos and then using the end of a rolling pin to crush up the biscuits until they're crumbs. I'm going to add the biscuit crumbs to the buttercream and mix until combined. Now that the cakes are baked and cooled, I'm going to remove them from their tins and remove the parchment from the bottom. I'm going to cut each cake into 2 layers. Now it's time to stack the cake. I'm going to alternate between layers of cake and buttercream until I get to the last layer of cake and put that on top. Here I'm adding my crumb coat before popping that in the fridge to chill for about 30 minutes. Now it's time for the final coat of icing. I'm just piping that on before smoothing it out with my spatula and then going around with the Pro Froster to sharpen the edges. I'm using some more of those crushed up biscuits and placing them around the edge at the bottom of the cake. I'm going to use some of that leftover buttercream to create some swirls at the top of the cake. I messed up some of the placements on these ones, so you can see me scraping them off and piping them on again. And for finishing touches, I'm adding a biscuit to each of those swirls and the leftover biscuit crumbs to the top. Now I'm going to clean up the board and here's the finished cake. Thanks for watching.